Alola, what's going on, y'all? Winter Knight here, and today we are back with some more Regulation C action. The ladder just dropped, and we got some games in. This team is so solid. Did manage to hit rank 21 on the ladder before I had to get to bed last night. Of course, it is at the start of the month, so not just an incredible feat, but it still feels good and shows that this team is capable of putting in the wins. So we'll go over it real quick. A lot of people are using that Palafin Balance team. I'm sure you've seen. This is kind of the same idea, but I like Roaring Moon in this because it pairs very well with Ting-Lu. That way we can Earthquake. And we have that secret Arcanine tech with Howl. Howl is so good when paired with Roaring Moon, Ting-Lu, and Palafin because it raises the attack by one stage of Arcanine and its partner. I got some good matches where I really show what you can utilize this for. I am running Grass Tera on Arcanine. That way we can still get off our Will-O-Wisps. Even in front of Amoonguss, they can't redirect it with the Rage Powder. We are also running Fairy Tera Ting-Lu with Payback, Stomping Tantrum, Heavy Slam, and Earthquake. I am not a Fissure believer, and I like Earthquake, especially paired with the Roaring Moon. Payback is also a really good dark move because if you get damaged, then it does double damage back. So that's very nice. We are also running the Amoonguss tech with the Flying Tera. That way if we're up against Fissure Ting-Lus, we could just go Flying Tera with Amoonguss and redirect those Fissures. Ain't got to worry about that. So I really like that. Amoonguss not going to get Tera'd a whole lot, but we do have that if we need to. Also good into Talon Tusk. We can Tera the Amoonguss and get off a Spore. So that's always good as well. Of course, just running Flying Tera with Acrobatics, Throat Chop, and Tailwind on Roaring Moon. I really like the Dragon Dance set, but since we have the Howl, I didn't feel like it was necessary. We are also running Substitute Flutter. I'm really liking Psyshock at the moment, but with the pressure that you can put on with this team, it is very nice to be able to sub up for those in-game situations. Get pinned by Chien Pao. At the end of the game, you can sub up on that Sucker Punch, and then you're free to Moonblast from there. So we're going to get into it, but before we do, if you could, please like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs, and I need your help to do it. It is much appreciated, so let's get into it. Alright, so first up we have Ash here. He is running a very scary team with Dozo, Tatsugiri, Wo-Chin, Glamora, Chi-Yu, and Flutter. So we're going to lead off with Palafin and Ting-Lu here. We'll bring Roaring Moon in the back along with Arcanine. So I feel like this covers all the bases. He has a very tricky team to lead into. I do expect that Glamora to come out starting out, but he could go Flutterfish. It's hard to say with these teams. That's why they're so good, so versatile with the leads. But he does just go Wo-Chin, Glamora, so it looks like he's going to go right into the Toxic Stalling. So I want to take care of Glamora as soon as possible. Not sure if it's Corrosion or Toxic Spikes. But it looks like we will have to take some kind of poison damage here to start off. Thinking about going for the Water Tera Wave Crash just to remove it. But I'm afraid he might go for the Grass Tera, so we'll just protect Palafin here and go for an Earthquake. Get some damage down on both sides. He does just go for the Mortal Spin. So Ting Lu will get poisoned here. We want to try to force out that poison tera on Woe here while we still have Ting Lu. That way we can get that ground damage into it. So Earthquake comes out, does a nice chunk to Glimmora. Glimmora barely hanging on here. We'll proc its berry. It will go down to another one here. Wo-Chien does get up the leech seeds, so he has Ting poisoned and seeded, so that damage is going to start racking up quick. So we're just going to go for the Jet Punch on Glimmora and switch right out into Arcanine. That way we can reset the seeds. We saw that it was Corrosion Glim because no spikes were set. So if we can take it out here with the Jet Punch, then we won't have to worry about anything else getting poisoned, which will help a ton. But it lives on 1. So it will just manually set up the spikes here. So that is unfortunate. So to get the seeds up onto Palafin. So now we're about to see that Howl Tech come out here. We want to break through this thing. So I'm going to switch out into Roaring Moon. And go Grass Tera Howl. That way I can't be seeded. And we can go ahead and get an attack boost on Moon here. So passive turn on my end, but I'm expecting the seeds to come out into Arc here. And if we Grass Tera, we'll be able to take the Power Gem. And Moon is already poisoned from the spikes regardless. So he does Tera the Woe here. Doesn't want to take a big Flare Blitz, so he will go to that Poison Tera. So we still have Ting Lu in the back to help deal with this. Howl comes out. Get the +1 on Arcanine and the +1 on Moon. Glim goes with another Mortal Spin, so Arc will get poisoned here. Moon was already poisoned, so that's fine. Leech Seed fails, doesn't affect the grass type. So Glim not doing a whole lot here, so I'm of a mind to just leave it be for now. Just go straight for the Acro on Wo-Chien. And throw out a Flare Blitz. See how much damage we can get down here. So he goes Spiky Shield. So a good play ignoring it. Let's get a big Acro off. Not that big, but does a decent chunk of damage. But the Flare Blitz comes out here and will bring it down very low. So seeds come out into Moon. So we'll get some of that health back. And we will lose a bit to the poison as well. So it's going to get a good chunk of the damage dealt back here from lefties and seed. Luckily it wasn't able to set up double seeds. So we'll go out into Ting here. And just try to Flare Blitz the Woe again. Most likely it's going to protect. Try to get a bit more health back. I'd say if not, it's probably a roll to KO with Flare Blitz after the last bit of damage. Does smartly protect here. So good switch. We do see the power gem come out, so it's not doing anything to Ting. It will get back to half here with the lefties. Arc falls below half with the poison. Ting getting very close to half. So now we could just safely go for an EQ and a Flare Blitz. We'll take the damage onto Arcanine here as a grass type, so it does resist. But if we're able to take out the Wo-Chien here, it will be completely worth it. So it brings it down very close. He power gems the Arc, so Arc survives on 22. Will proc its berry. So that was kind of lucky. The power gem put us in range of the Figgy Berry. So we'll be able to take the Earthquake here. So we do finish it off. So that is big there. We still have full health Palafin in the back that hasn't taken any poison damage yet. Moon still has a good bit of health. Ting and Arc both pretty low here, but that is okay. So we see it is Flutter and Chi-Yu. So Palafin looking very good for the end game. So we'll just try to EQ again and try to go for the Flare Blitz. I just threw it out on the Chi. I knew I wasn't going to get it off unless they missed the Heat Wave here. But most likely a Gleam coming out anyway. Alright, so time for Palafin to do his thing. So unfortunately we did already burn the booster on Moon. So I'm still not sure if Chi-Yu has Protect here. So it could be tricky here. Of course, Flutter is the #1 priority at the moment. So we're just going to Protect with Moon and go for the Jet Punch on Flutter with a bit of chip. This should take it out. And it will. Clean KO there. And no Protect coming out on Chi-Yu, so that would indicate that it is Scarfed. So Palafin should be able to take at least one more after the poison. And I believe Moon should easily be able to as well. So we'll just go Acro. Could just go for the Jet Punch. But we want to be safe. We get the KO. So we'll go for the Wave Crash here. This dude is hitting all his Heat Waves. So Acro comes out. And then Wave Crash will finish off here. So GG's to my opponent. So great example of how to deal with that type of poison stall. Alright, so next up we have another very scary team. This one has Chien-Pao, Dragonite, Fluttermane, Chi-Yu, Sylveon, and Ting Lu. So going with 3 Ruin Mons here. So I think we're going to go with K-Dot and Tech-9. We'll bring Oliver Tree in the back. Debating if I want a Ghost type here. But, of course, Flutter good into the E-Speed's not so great into Chien-Pao. So we'll go ahead and bring Mega Mints as well. So against Pal Knight, definitely have to utilize Arcanine very smartly to get those wisps down, as well as the intimidate. So they actually lead double fairy here, and we'll go Sylvie on Flutter. So this gives me the opportunity to make another cool play with Howl. We see it is booster Flutter, so with it not being Sash, we're just going to go for the Howl and protect Palafin. That way we'll have the +1 Jet Punch on the next turn. And that should easily secure the KO. So they do show us the energy ball. Most likely EV to live at least a baby Palafin Jet Punch. But now we're at +1. So Hyper Voice comes out here. So Arcanine eats that for breakfast. Sylveon does get the throat spray. So this is a very bulky Arcanine set. Since we're boosting our attack, I figured I could invest a ton into special defense. So we're going to actually go ahead and go for the Tera Water Jet Punch. I want to make sure that we secure the KO here, because we do not want to eat an Energy Ball plus a Hyper Voice. So Jet Punch comes out, easily picks up the KO, and that's kind of the trick to playing Palafin. You don't always want to switch out on the first turn. Sometimes it's good to protect, and sometimes it's good to just attack. So the +1 Flare Blitz does a ton to Sylveon. It will survive though, and will fire back with a huge Hyper Voice. Brings Palafin down to the red. They bring out Dragonite here. So that's a bad thing. Now Palafin is in range of an E-Speed. So we're just going to go for the Wisp here. And just go ahead and Jet Punch the Sylveon. If Palafin goes down here, that's just fine, as long as we can take Sylveon down with us. I don't want Arcanine to go down if Dragonite shows us that he has Protect. So that's my thinking on this play, because we need... but E-Speed does go before Hyper Voice. Dragonite doesn't protect though, so as long as Wisp hits, we're in a good position here. But they just quick attack, so that's not going to do anything to Arc. Wisp does connect. So now we are in a good position here. Go ahead and bring out Roaring Moon. First priority is to deal with the Sylveon. And now we can freely switch out Arc. Yeah, we'll go out into Ting Lu here. That way we get the can get the Intimidate down on Dragonite as well as Chien-Pao when it comes in. Them having quick attack didn't click here. Otherwise I might have made a different play and tried to Flare Blitz. Tried to protect and Flare Blitz, that way we didn't take this quick attack. They do finally decide to go for the Tera. I guess they were scared of a breaking swipe. So E-Speed comes out. That is into Tinglu, so doesn't do much. But the quick attack does a ton to Roaring Moon on the crit. Do have quite a bit of defense investment on this Moon. So without the crit, I don't think it would have been anywhere near that. But luckily, we are still able to survive and take out the Sylveon. So now they show us the POW. So we'll just have Heavy Slam and go back out into Arcanine. That way Ting can survive the double up if they do decide to go with that play. So out comes the E-Speed. Arc able to eat. Brings us to Figgy Berry range. So we do see the Sacred Sword. Ting takes that well. Fire off a big Heavy Slam. Bring it down to Sash. So it would be a good time to have E-Speed of our own here. But we should easily be able to take another one. So we'll look to finish off the POW here. We'll just double into that slot. That way if either gets taken out, still be okay. Ting hangs on in the red. Flare Blitz will finish off the POW. And they show us the Earthquake. It's not expecting that, but after the Intimidate and the Burn, both are able to survive easily. Payback does good damage. And it's actually Rocky Helmet Dragonite. I had not seen that. That's very interesting, but it will finish off Tinglu there. Luckily, he cannot E-Speed both slots here. We saw that Arc will be able to take another one, so we're just going to double protect here. That way we can let the burn chip just a bit more. I could have tried to guess which one he wanted to attack, but I didn't feel like playing that, so we'll just go for the double. And let that burn just tick on by. That way, if anything, if the next attack doesn't KO, then we could just protect the last turn for the win. So E-Speed does finish off Moon. But he no longer resists the blitz, and it will finish off. So GG's. Another very intense match. Alright, and last up we have Andres here with the Perish Trap with Arcanine, Gothitelle, Amoonguss, Palafin, Flutter, and Iron Hands. So no ruins on his squad, just a plain old Season 2 Perish Trap team. But it still can be very tricky to deal with, so we will go with Megamints and Misdreavus out front with Oliver Tree and Tech9 in the back. Just kind of thinking things over, making sure Arc is the one I want to bring. But it could be good to be able to get some burns down onto Iron Hands or Palafin. So we do see the Flutter Iron Hands lead here, so he is threatening the Fake Out as well as the Perish Song, so that's why I led Flutter. He can't Fake Out Flutter, and I'm guessing he has Iron Hands to pressure Roaring Moon into Protect. I don't think he's actually gonna Fake Out here though, so we're actually gonna Tera and go for the Acro on Flutter, and then we'll go for the Moonblast on Hands. Sub could have been a good play here. But I'm calling that he's not gonna Fake Out Moon. So he goes for the Tera. So good play on his end. He goes for the Tera Grass Hands. So he should have switched the slots around, went Shadow Ball into Flutter and Acro into that slot. But he does just protect the Flutter, so very good play on his end. We do get the call right, no Fake Out. But do not target correctly, so able to eat the Moonblast very well. Heavy Slam comes out, not something you see on Hands every day, so bye-bye Flutter. So that was a good turn one for him. He just got rid of our only Ghost. So now we can safely go for the Perish Song and switch out into Goth. We'll just go for the Acro into Flutter and the Blitz into Hands. So he does withdraw the Hands. Another good play goes out into his Arcanine. That way he can get the Intimidate down. That way his Flutter can take this Acro. So it will live on the red here and get off that Perish Song. So should have doubled the Flutter slot, but wanted to play it safe, cover for the Hands staying in. So we'll get a bit of chip onto his Arc. And we can only switch out one since we only have one Mon in the back. So I want to save Moon, so we'll go out into Tinglu here. We'll actually just go for the Howl. That way we can try to power through this trap. Get both our Mons +1, so we can throw out some good damage. So he does withdraw the Flutter, goes out into Goth. Flare Blitz is the Ting, we take that well. And we're howling, baby. Alright, so Arcanine's got 2 turns of Perish left here. He does have a Fake Out. So we'll go for the payback into Goth, expecting Ting to get faked out. At least Arcanine is back to neutral here. So we'll go ahead and actually Howl again. So Ting has not heard the Perish song, so it's good. So we can go ahead and get it pumped up. That way it can deal with Iron Hands and Arcanine a bit better. So now Arc is +1 and Ting is +2. And he is pressuring the fake out again. So expect Ting Lu to get faked out here. So we'll just go for the Earthquake if we're able to get it off. And go for the Blitz on the Iron Hands. If Arc can take one down with him here, that would be very nice. Most likely Goth gonna just protect. But he actually withdraws the Gothitelle. Goes out into his own Arcanine, that way he can get the Intimidate. So Arc goes down to neutral, Ting back to +1. Flare Blitz does a good chunk here, but Hands will live on just a few HP. And Arc will go down to the Perish here. So he's got us in a tough spot. But this is where that Flying Tera comes in great with the Earthquake. We're just going to click Earthquake and Tailwind here. So +1 Earthquake should finish off both sides. Or anything he tries to switch in. If Goth comes in, then we'll get at least good damage down. He does go for the Protect. So I wanted to be sure to get the Tailwind up. That way we can hopefully outspeed the Flutter when it comes in. So Nighty Night to Iron Hands. Catch you on the flip side. So he will bring Goth back in. That way he can pressure the fake out again. Just go for the Earthquake again. Nothing to lose there. So debating attacking Goth, but we'll just go with the Acro into the Arc slot. I'm going to try to avoid getting burned if at all possible. So Acro comes out, not quite enough. But they Flare Blitz the Ting Lu slot, so Ting hangs on, but the Flare Blitz will just not quite be enough to take out Arc there, but that is okay. We can click Earthquake again. Got 2 turns of Tailwind here, so we'll go for the Throat Chop on Goth. Most likely he's gonna protect here. So he does. Shows us the E-Speed, but Ting is a champ. He will survive. So he's playing this end game very well, just trying to chip down Ting Lu, waste these turns of Tailwind, that way Flutter can come in, and he's hoping to pick up 2 KOs. But Moon is still at full health, and with Ting Lu still on the board, we should be able to take at least 1 shot from the Flutter. I still don't know if it has Power Gem. It is extremely low health here. So I expect the Flutter Protect on the last turn of Tailwind. So we'll go EQ and Throat Chop into the Goth spot. Get the call right there. So Goth goes for the double Protect, but luckily does not get it. Chop comes out. We'll bring Goth down to berry range. But +1 Earthquake, will it do it? It will. Perfect. Okay. So that puts us in a good position. They have to quick Dazzling Gleam here. And with Vessel of Ruin on the board, that is never going to be enough to take out a full health Flying Tera Roaring Moon. So battle was canceled. GG's to my opponent. Very well played on his end. Alright, so as you can see, Howl allows for some very cool plays. Really enables the other members of the team very well. And the team has the tools it needs into most of the matchups that I played so far. So try it out. Let me know what you think. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.